Hi guys, so sorry I'm looking a little bit more on the ratchet side today, but that's how I'm gonna look for most of these vlog channel Pretty Little Liars series edition videos. So every week, well there's gonna be two this week because this is my predictions for season 3 part 2 because they broke it up really weirdly. This is season 3 part 2 that's starting tomorrow, and this will be up the day that it premieres. So it premieres tonight at 8 o'clock. And I'm super excited, as I'm sure all my Pretty Little Liars little fan watchers are. And so this is kind of my predictions, and I'm also going to give you a recap / my ranting version of what happened in the season 3 part summer edition finale. So my predictions for season 3, and my biggest thing that I've been holding this grudge since I believe it was the night before the season 2 finale, I came up with this theory, and I've been sticking by it the entire 3rd season, and it hasn't happened yet, but I will tell you that it is going to happen. And my theory is that Ezra is A. And I know, freak out, I know some other people have started to agree with me over the last few months, but my theory is Ezra is A. A because he always restates like what A texts them. My theory was very nicely proved in the Halloween special, for example. A said something along the lines of, "Oh, I'm gonna find you whether you're at the end of that train or not." Ezra, first of all, pops up on the end of the train like nobody's business. He just shows up, like out of nowhere. First of all, the train is in the middle of nowhere, going probably 80 miles an hour. How does Ezra magically appear? No one else found that suspicious but me? Okay. But he said, he said, "Arya, I waited at the end of the train for you." He pretty much restated exactly what A texted them like 25 minutes ago. And of course, Arya was all like, "I love you, Ezra." I'm ranting! I'm doing a video, I have to talk loud! He's A. And in an episode with the little hands, you know, the glovey things, he said in one of them, he has a typewriter, it's sitting magically on his desk, and A was typing on a typewriter. So does that hint anything to anyone? Let's start talking about Emily. And Emily, I have major issues with. The sight of her just makes me cringe. I don't know what it is about her. She's my least favorite character on the show. So pretty much, if you guys don't know who Nate is, or Landon, I guess his name now turns out to be, Nate is pretty much this guy that shows up claiming to be Maya's cousin. Now, she never questions this. She kind of just, like, goes along with it, like, oh, this guy magically appears claiming to be her cousin. That's totally normal. So, he turns out to be a psycho killer who, I'm trying to, like, refresh my memory, but pretty much he kidnaps Paige, keeps her locked in a closet for multiple hours while he lures Emily into the cabin. And Emily kind of had a gist that something was wrong when she started like looking at the files, and I believe she found something like, she found a file of papers, I believe, or something by the fireplace that was like, okay, this guy's crazy, I have to get out of here. But no, she didn't try to run. She kind of just waited for him to come home and was kind of praying to herself that he wouldn't try to kill her, even though he ended up trying to psychopathically kill her with a knife. Pulls Paige out of the closet, and she's duct taped. And Emily is completely, like, hysterically crying because her girlfriend is currently tucked up by some psychopath. And pretty much they both... Emily ends up running, I believe. She runs into a lighthouse. Okay, if you are running for your life, why the heck do you run into a lighthouse? It's an enclosed figure. There's one way in and there's one way out. Out of all places, a lighthouse, though. Really. I know she was thinking spur of the moment, but a lighthouse is in pretty much that flashback I talked about earlier where someone ends up dead. Want to know who's dead? And out of nowhere, here comes Caleb strutting up them stairs like nobody's business. And here he comes, and he pretty much like gets rid of Nate. They think he's dead, but no, Nate rises from the dead, or someone comes up the staircase. They never really clarified that. He rises from the dead, pretty much shoots Caleb. Caleb's down, and that's who was in the beginning of the episode. That's why Hannah was hysterically crying, because Caleb is now injured from magically appearing into a lighthouse where Emily was about to be brutally murdered and saving her from psychopath Nate, who rose from the dead and ended up almost killing both of them. So isn't that fabulous? And Paige ends up surviving. It's just, I kind of forget how she survived because it was like 6 months ago when that season finale was. But don't worry, she's alive too, even though no one cares about her. First of all, Caleb's hair, I have a problem with his hair. I'm not even going to begin, but he reminds me of this kid in my class, my Mandarin class, whose hair is always very oily and his hair looks like his, and it just annoys me to no end. Happens to have a very big jawline, cough cough Toby, walk up the stairs, and you don't really see the guy in the hood, you just see Mona, and she's like, says one of her creepy lines with like her fake lipstick, and like how she's all like, thank you, I was enchanted to meet you, blah blah blah. Then the guy turns around and you see Toby. Toby, okay? That was totally uncalled for. The show is trying to mentally scar me. I actually thought Toby was becoming normal after the whole Jenna thing, like the affair with his stepsister. First of all, that's not normal. So I kind of was like, oh, maybe he's becoming normal, realizing that's kind of weird. All to the first season finale. I know, this is really bad that I actually have theories coming from the first season finale. But the first season finale, pretty much what happened was Spencer was pretty much hanging by a thread, literally, on the top of a church about to fall to her death. And A comes over and completely saves her, which is kind of strange because A usually is like, the whole point of the show is A is trying to plot to kill them because of Allison. So I think that Toby has been an A all along, and I kind of agree with the whole fandom that's saying like, oh, Toby loves Spencer, that's why he's doing this to her. But my thing is, I think he's been an A the whole time. I think Allison probably blackmailed him with the whole him and Jenna situation. And I think he was just lured into becoming an A, but really, I mean, he is like a good-hearted person. Oh, apparently Ezra has a son. I completely forgot about this. But the whole Ezra has a son thing, I mean, I believe it. He's definitely an A. I think Lucas and Dr. Sullivan are related because I recall in one episode she said A has been taunting my son as well, and A is obviously messing up with Lucas because there's so many things wrong with that child I can't even begin to explain. So for the Halloween special, pretty much what happened is they got locked on a train with A, and one of the main parts of the whole thing was like this guy with a mask was walking around the entire time like plotting to kill them all. And I think one of the main points was Arya got locked in a box pretty much to die, and I think the people carrying that box were Mona and Ezra, because Ezra is obviously A, Mona's knocked out of her mental institute, so I mean, I think those two were the people carrying Arya in the box. It just happened, the Halloween special, but the one before, Allison told Hannah a horror story about a little girl whose twin sister died, pretty much the story of her life. Anyway, I think that was the girl that Allison told the story about, so I think that girl somehow related to Allison because Allison killed one of her siblings, I think, because, you know what, you never know with the De Laurentises or whatever their names are. Suspicious. First of all, Cece, her last name is probably like De Laurentiis, and she's probably Allison's older sister or something. Like, there's something suspicious about that girl. But the body bag, I mean, I'm sure it's Allison's body, that's what they want us to think. But what if it's someone we don't know of, or what if it's Cece, or what if it's just nobody? What if they did that because it's a Halloween themed thing, and you never know, maybe there's cake in that body bag. I don't know.